Ceci is on the visionary communication path, and the purpose and project of the speech is to practice developing a communication plan. Ceci discovered how these steps are helpful at work and at home. The time is 5 to 7 minutes, and the title is Theme Sundays! Exclamation point. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ceci Meacham.
Good morning, fellow distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My compliments to Maddie. Paralysis analysis is exactly how I felt when I had to do this project. I would like to take you in my journey finalizing the communication plan assignment. Have you seen these charts? Oh Lord, as soon as I opened this one, I was like, I don't want to do this. But I already told Becky I will do it for the level 3. I gotta do it. But I have to work until 3 in the morning. Paralysis analysis, I love it. I love it. This project starts by finding your goal in a communication plan. I realized that my paralysis was because being a solo CEO, there's not a whole lot of communication plan to who? My clients? It's usually just a one-on-one. I was really frustrated, not finding the goal. What am I gonna talk about? What's gonna be the communication plan? I struggled until I decided, well, let's take this to home. Oh boy, I do have a lot to say at home. The communication plans are always being done by me, and I'm a matriarch at home. I thought back in December, I will create a new goal for the family. In my kingdom, aka my circus, I decide what to do, when do we go, and I had an idea for our Sundays. I make my kids come home every Sunday. I make it a case. I pout and shout when they don't come. And I'll do it until they tell me, forget it, Mom. Okay, we have a life. They did it. They tried. But I still standing still. So the plan was, from now on, every month, we're going to choose a Sunday and we're going to make it a theme Sunday. They look at me like, what? I said, well, it's always me and Denisha, which is my son's girlfriend, from my older son. It's always me and Denisha in the kitchen. That's not okay. You guys need to do something. I don't care we eat hot dogs that day, but you're in charge of a Sunday meal. So the goal was to entertain, educate, and create memories. Boom. One of my boxes are done. I got it. The next in the project is, how do I measure it? I will measure by the level of participation, their interest. Are they interested in my goal, my theme Sunday? What is this all about? Who's gonna pay for it? That was the first question of the boys. Are you paying for that if I cook? Of course I have to pay for that if you cook. My audience is my family, and maybe some Sundays a guest, a relative that come and visit us. So what was the message? The message was, we will start theme Sundays once a month. Each couple will be in charge of a meal. You have to educate us about the country or whatever theme you chose. You have to dress up, bring the music, and clean dishes. They didn't go for that. Everything up to cleaning. All right, I had to give up. Fine, you do the cleaning. I will have to end up with the dirty kitchen every Sunday. But it's a good price to pay when you have your entire family at home. The communication channel asked my project. Every Sunday, I tried to get everybody in Mass. So it was right after Mass when everybody's still a little bit quiet. It's not wild and crazy. So that was the moment of the communication plan. This is what we're doing. We started in December. So now we are in the next bracket, which is evaluating the plan. Did my audience get involved? Hey, yes. They follow the timeline? Yes, we have done December theme, January theme, February theme. We are on track. Did I get the responses from there? Oh, wow. I got so much engagement, I couldn't believe it. They keep changing their theme every Sunday. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do the other. The enthusiasm is so great that they actually don't wanna do it as a couple. Now my son is like, no, she did this, but I wanna do that. So that is fantastic, the response that I got. People are volunteering and they're actually helping in the kitchen, I must say. I had every Sunday compliments for everybody, the chef, the people who dress up, and all of those things. So now that I share my communication plan, I realize that when you're doing something that you love, the project comes so much better, it flows. I was stuck thinking about how do I put this in a business context, but I don't have to. This is Toastmasters, and we share here life and business. And I thought it would be a good idea to share a little bit of those Sundays. So I will share my screen, and I will tell you how this started. Oh, and of course, it's in the wrong place. All right. Our first theme was Nicaragua, which is where my son's girlfriend is from. We learn about Nicaragua, and she makes something that is very homey from their homey from their house. Okay, grammarian, you got it. So this was some pork and yuca and salad, but they have to eat it in this order. This first, the other, you can't eat a different way. She got mad at us because we were digging to the pork, and that was not the way. That's my son, my youngest son, with the pork. The next thing was Italy. And believe me, it wasn't me. It was the beautiful girlfriend of my youngest son. There she was from scratch making a lasagna. And here they are, the happy lovebirds. The next one was my husband with the Scotland. He has some roots in Scotland. So we went ahead. We were dying laughing at the names of these dishes. I can't even repeat them, because we thought he was joking, and the name of these dishes are really funny, but funny to us. So he went all the way to do some codfish soup and peas, and then we were all finding blankets and ways to dress up as Scottish people. Look at me, I went all the way, got in Walmart, $6 dress, and here I was. And my husband, of course, grabbing up a blanket. This is the beautiful girl also enjoying the day. And now it comes the little Kaboon, if we have his 20 seconds.
Sounds like pipes to me.
What do you make?
Rumbledy thumps, butter leaks, and colored skeet.
Well, rumble my thumps. And call me a colored skeet.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for you guys. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Ceci Luchon.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, our guests, and especially Ceci. Themed Sundays. When I heard the title, I had no idea where you were going to take us. But I want to compliment you on an excellent job of thinking outside of the box. Who would have ever thought that a communication plan could be applied at home? I always associated with business, and like you said, I'm a business owner. I don't have a communication plan. I am the communication. So I could understand that struggle, and I could feel that, and how quickly you pivoted to making it work at home. Excellent job of doing that. So your opening really set the stage for what you were going to share with us. Throughout the body of the speech, you had great vocal variety, you had great gestures. You also used the rule of 3 because you told us about the goal, how you were going to measure it, and then how you were going to evaluate the effectiveness of it. So 3 things that could really help us follow your journey of your communication plan. You had a couple of little things in there that you really stressed. Sometimes sacrifices are necessary, which is true. We all have experienced instances where we have to make sacrifices. And then when you love what you do, it just happens, is basically what you said. So those are good things. So the purpose of the speech and the objectives were to develop a communication plan, which you did wonderfully, and then to share some aspect of it. And as you were giving your stories and your examples, that's how you were sharing your aspects. So the purposes of the speech project were met extremely well. If I could give you a couple of things to work on, one, eye contact, which is always a challenge in the virtual world, and just always keep that in the forefront of your mind, especially when you are in an entirely virtual environment. A little easier to get away with when you're in person, because if you make the occasional glance at the camera, you're okay. But when you're in a wholly virtual environment, it's a whole different story. And then I think you had an opportunity in your closing to do a little brief summary of what you shared of the communication plan, and perhaps to even challenge us as your audience to think about how we communicate at home, and maybe perhaps we could put together a communication plan for ourselves at home as well. Overall, great speech. I love how you stepped out of the normal box and put your speech together, and I really can't wait to hear you speak again. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much.